We help contractors by the hundreds with all of the administrative burdens that surround handling their construction projects. That means helping them with estimating, working with them on all the administration of their supplements, and doing the administrative services back office work that enables them to focus on selling, building, and billing.
We see contractors just starting off, maybe they're struggling with the fundamentals of running a construction business. They partner up with us, their process is now defined, they're able to grow their profit margins and actually scale because they're not held back with the burden of dealing with the supplementing process. And I feel proud of what we've been able to do in this industry.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for our daily hail forecast. A little earlier today, sponsors always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and are the Supplement and Balance Claims. You can check them out in the description below here on our Facebook page. So a little earlier today, it's looking like it's possible that I'll be the one chasing for the KOCO team today. Derek unfortunately got stuck on a storm yesterday, and so looks like I'll probably end up being the driver here. So we're a little earlier. Large hail is possible today in Oklahoma, also in Colorado, parts of Texas, and even into the Northeast for this afternoon and to this evening. Marginal chance for some hail tomorrow across Missouri and Texas. And as always, follow Derek on KOCO. I think he posted a video on his KOCO chasing page a couple minutes ago of him getting towed out from a ditch earlier this morning from a friendly farmer, it looks like. So go check that out. This is your forecast for today. We've got 3 areas we're looking at here. And it gets really convoluted and complex here in Oklahoma. Very complicated forecast here for Oklahoma City. Specifically, I'm watching a couple boundary layers, things that what would be the triggers and the tracks for the storms, essentially. And it's starting to kind of push closer to Oklahoma City right now, which means I feel like we're going to be seeing some storms. I have a low chance for Oklahoma City because it looks like I think storms are going to form most likely south of OKC a little bit here. Maybe in Norman at possibly the northernmost section, and then areas south of the metro will likely see some pretty big hail, up to baseball size hail there. Could see up to baseball size hail over by Lubbock, where another area of storms are going to form all along a dry line, pretty much from the Mexico border up to near Oklahoma. And that could have some big time hail initially. Dallas, I know some folks asking about Dallas. We have I got a low chance for you guys today. It's looking like it's going to be more of a wind threat. Storms forming way off to your west, and so that will really limit sizes down to maybe some quarters, if at all, really, for the Dallas area. Unfortunately, same goes for San Antonio, where we don't have enough to keep the storms isolated long enough to get them over to the Metroplex. Other areas we're looking at here up over by Denver, we do have a chance for some storms this afternoon across Colorado. We did have storms yesterday. They didn't quite make it to that severe limits, and I think today we have a better chance for a little bit more intense storms. I think Denver itself will see some storms this afternoon. Hail sizes, I think the bigger hail sizes will stay east of the metro and probably out in eastern Colorado, but there is that chance, that first storm of the year could see some marginally severe hail. And then finally up in my hometown there in the northeast, we could see some storms this afternoon. The potential is really starting to kind of go down a little bit compared to this time yesterday. I think it'll be more of a wind threat than a hail threat, but we could see some quarter, half dollar, maybe even some ping pong ball size hail in areas in the northeast, maybe around Albany, western New York, northwestern Connecticut, by the time the storms get to New York City or Boston, anywhere on the I-95 corridor in the Northeast, likely is going to be just a wind threat or dying altogether as they interact with the cooler water from the Atlantic Ocean. So here is your wind forecast. That's supposed to be saying today, but it does say yesterday. I forgot to change the date. 2 years we're looking at here, most significant again, it looks like we'll probably see a line of storms forming in New York, and that's going to have some gusty winds, some 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. I got that moderate chance for Albany. I think you got the best chance there in the Northeast. And then the other area here in Oklahoma and into Texas, where it really looks like we're going to see storms. Once that hail threat kind of goes away, it's going to turn into a big line of storms. It's going to rip across Texas in the overnight hours. And that could have some very strong winds with it, possibly over 70 miles an hour anywhere in that hatched area. Abilene and San Antonio, you're in that moderate chance. I have low for Dallas because honestly, the storms might not get to the Dallas area until tomorrow morning, when it's going to be for tomorrow's forecast. So that's what we're looking at for the wind. City forecast. So we're going to go city by city here, starting here in Oklahoma City, between 4 and 8 p.m. for the metro, and it's primarily probably going to be the South Metro. If you're in Oklahoma City, probably south of I-40 is your best chance there for storms. I'm saying 2-inch hail for the OKC Metro, just because I'm not totally convinced that there'll actually be storms in OKC. I have a feeling from my personal house, we could probably go outside and look to the south and see big storms forming way off to the south of us, but not over Oklahoma City. We'll have low chance, I think, for that quarter-size hail, and a little bit lower chance for maybe golf ball-size hail or larger. I could be wrong, though. This is a very complicated forecast. If the outflow boundary that's currently in Guthrie that's pushing south, if it stalls out over the metro, this will change the forecast entirely. Right now, I do not think it'll stall out until we get south of Oklahoma City, but right now, I think we could see things really start to continue accelerating and keeping Oklahoma City out of the storm potential for today. Lubbock, between 3 and 7 p.m., up to 3-inch hail possible there. Moderate chance, or at least quarter-size hail. It seems like whenever Lubbock has a chance for storms to form near them, it happens. And low-end moderate chance of that larger than golf ball size hail. Storms could be a little messy and may not be able to get that giant hail right away. But if it does happen, it could have up to that 3-inch hail. Somebody's saying it's on about Sunday. Yes, there's a chance for in the Great Lakes for some hail on Sunday. I do not have it in the forecast, though. I kind of rushed through part of it for today because today is kind of complicated. City forecast, as a cheating a little bit here on this one, instead of it being a city, I'm doing 3 states: New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Between 3 and 8 p.m. Maybe ping pong ball size hail is your maximum hail size with that. Low chance for hail, very low chance or anything. Get golf ball or larger. I think this is going to probably turn into a classic Northeast event where it turns into a squall line pretty fast. And one of the main factors that we use to find hail is just kind of meh for today. So I'm really keeping those hail sizes lower. And then finally for Denver, 2 to 7 p.m. Mountain Time, up to ping pong ball size hail for Denver itself, I-25 corridors. That's from Fort Collins all the way down to Colorado Springs. And I'm thinking we could probably go to that almost moderate chance for hail of at least quarter size, but seeing anything golf ball or larger, I do not think this is the event for that for the Denver area for today. I think we'll mostly have around that marginally severe hail and a whole crap ton of smaller than quarter size hail. So looking at that future radar, starting out here in the Southern Plains for Oklahoma and Texas, you see those storms trying to bubble up here at around 4 o'clock. This particular model run does show storms near Oklahoma City, but I do think it's going to trend a little further south than what we were initially expecting here. And then a lot of storms explode over the Texas Panhandle and West Texas. That was the best chance for big hail, and then you see it turns into a big old Boeing squall line pushing towards the I-35 corridor in Texas late in the overnight hours, where mostly strong winds and hail size is going to be pretty marginal at best. So looking over further to the north, so we can get Denver into the mix here. You can see storms pulling off the mountains in the afternoon hours here. Multiple chances for some storms. Again, I think this could be a marginally severe hail event for the Denver area. Nothing too crazy. I think a lot of sub-severe hail with that hail approaching ping pong ball size in the strongest storms that do happen. They probably will get a little stronger the further east you get. So once you pull away from Denver, you could probably see some hail closer to golf ball size. But in the city area itself, the places that you folks care about, it looks like it'll be likely well below that golf ball size. And finally, here in the Northeast, see those storms forming this afternoon. A couple, the lead supercells, the ones that going through Massachusetts and Connecticut there, that's your best chance for hail if they happen. If they do not happen, the hail chances will very quickly go down after that initial development into the line here in New York, and then quickly push across the coast, where by the time these storms make it to the Atlantic Ocean, they'll likely no longer be severe. So, hail forecast for Saturday. I got two areas I'm looking at here. The first of which, down in Texas, is going to be really that squall line that's going to be happening tonight as it continues to push to the east. Once we get into tomorrow morning, I think that will be the main threat for severe weather, as we could see some quarter to half dollar size hail sprinkled in within that line as it pushes to the east for Dallas and Houston, McAllen, everywhere on the eastern sides of Texas. And we could see some storms as well. Kansas City, St. Louis, northern Missouri, parts of Iowa, or parts of Illinois, all possible to see some hail tomorrow. Probably have a little bit more defined of a forecast for tomorrow. A little bit of uncertainty there. I'm keeping the hail sizes fairly small right now. I do not see a whole ton of instability to work with. A lot of forcing to work with to make these storms a little bit bigger. And low chances across the board there. So a future radar for starting in the Midwest, you can see the storms that form in the afternoon hours, kind of scattered in nature, nothing too crazy. We'll see if this changes. I mean, we've had a couple of these days so far this year where it starts out looking pretty benign and then ends up getting really intense by the time things turn around and we actually have the event happen. And then here, future radar, you can see the squall line pushing off the coast in the morning hours, and then maybe a couple storms could fire up in the afternoon that could see some marginally severe hail as well. So I do not have anything for Sunday, but yes, Sunday there is a chance in Indiana and Ohio. We'll have more details about that tomorrow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Hailtrace. Hit see first on Facebook so you don't miss any of our content, with the possibility of me having to be the one that does the driving for chasing today. Live coverage for storms may be a little difficult. I'm the only one with the setup at home right now, so we'll just kind of see how that plays out. I might end up not chasing. We'll just kind of see. I got to talk to the other potential drivers. Fortunately, the other two are pretty tired, so it looks like I may be doing that. So check us out on the KOCO page for that as well. And give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have. You want to set up a training, whatever it may be, first time with Hailtrace, it's a great number to call. You can email us as well if you don't like talking on the phone too much, info@hailtrace.com, or visit our website for more details. You can message us directly on there as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and if I don't see you and you don't watch us on the weekends, then have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, and if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m., and if anything crazy does happen today, we'll go live, assuming I'm available to do that. If not, then we'll just kind of roll with it here and see how it goes. There's only one of me, unfortunately, and I will be going back to the office, and we'll be on the green screen again probably after Memorial Day. So got that to look forward to. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you later.